In a village at the edge of a great forest, there lived a young man named Rohan, who couldn't understand why his life felt so heavy. His crops failed more than his neighbors, his family faced sickness more often. Every season seemed to bring a new hardship, while others around him seemed to move through life untouched. One evening, frustrated and tired, he sat by the forest's edge and said aloud, "Why do all the problems in this village always find their way to me?" An old woodcutter, resting nearby after a long day's work, overheard him. "Come," he said, "walk with me into the forest, and I'll show you something." They walked until they reached a clearing filled with trees of every size. Some were thin and young, barely taller than Rohan himself. Others were massive, wide-trunked, deeply rooted, their branches spreading far above the rest of the forest. The woodcutter pointed to one of the largest trees. "Tell me," he said, "or when the storm comes through this forest, which tree does the wind hit first?" Rohan looked up at the towering tree. "The tallest one, I suppose? And which tree do the woodcutters like me come looking for when we need strong timber for a bridge, or a roof that has to hold through years of rain?" "Or the strongest one," Rohan said slowly. "The biggest one," the old man nodded. "The wind doesn't punish the tall tree. It simply can't avoid it. The tree is standing where the wind must pass, and the axe doesn't seek out the tallest tree out of cruelty. It seeks it because that tree is the only one capable of becoming something useful, something that will hold weight for years to come." He placed a hand on the tree's bark. Small trees in this clearing rarely feel the worst of the storm. They rarely feel the axe either, not because they're lucky, but because they haven't grown enough yet to be worth the trouble. Rohan sat with that for a long moment, watching the branches sway gently above him. "You are not cursed, boy," the woodcutter continued. "You feel more storms because you are becoming something the storms can't ignore. Every hardship that finds you is shaping something in you the same way wind shapes. A trunk, testing where you're weak, strengthening where you bend, preparing you to hold weight someday that a smaller life never could." "But it doesn't feel like strength," Rohan said quietly. "It just feels like exhaustion." The old man smiled, the way people do when they've lived long enough to know a thing is true, even when it doesn't feel true yet. Growth rarely feels like growth while it's happening. It only looks like growth once you turn around and see how far you've come. He looked up at the tall tree above them. "This one has survived 12 storms that I know of. Every villager who's ever needed a roof that wouldn't collapse, a bridge that wouldn't wash away, has come looking for a tree exactly like this. Not the smallest one, not the safest one. This one." They stood in silence for a while, the wind moving gently through the leaves above. "Next time a storm comes for you," the old man said, turning back toward the village path, "don't ask why it found you. Ask what it's preparing you to hold." The moral: problems don't usually come to the weakest among us, they come to the ones who are becoming something the world will eventually need. Every hardship you face isn't proof that life is against you. It may simply be proof that you're growing into something too strong to be left untested. The storm doesn't choose you out of cruelty. It chooses you because you were built to still be standing after it passes.